House will come back to order. This House will come back to order. Mr. Clerk, you want to ring the bell? You need me to stand? Okay. House will come back to order. House will come back to order. Chair recognizes Chairman Ron Stevens.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move this House insist on its position on House Bill 1381 and appoint a committee of conference.
Chairman Stevens has moved that the House insist on its position in disagreeing to the Senate amendment to House Bill 1381 and that a committee of conference be appointed. The clerk will read the caption.
House Bill 1381 by Representative Stevens, 164th England of the 116th Corporate of the 174th and others, being titled an act to amend Chapter 80, Title 36 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to general provisions applicable to counties, municipal corporations, and other governmental entities so as to require Water and Sewer Authority board members to complete yearly continuing training courses.
Chairman Stevens, having moved that this House insist on its position in disagreeing to the Senate amendment to House Bill 1381 and that a committee of conference be appointed. Is there objection? Chair hears none. This House has insisted and the chair appoints as a committee of conference Representative Stevens of the 164th, Representative Jaspers of the 11th, and Representative Watson of the 172nd. Clerk will read the caption to Senate Bill 183.
Senate Bill 183 by Senator Robertson, the 29th, Anna Duarte, the 31st, Payne, the 54th, and others, be entitled Act to amend Article 1 of Chapter 16 and Title 15 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to general provisions regarding sheriffs so as to revise qualification requirements for the office of sheriff. This bill having referred to the Committee on Public Safety and Homeland Security, that committee recommends that this bill do pass by Rules Committee substitute.
Chair recognizes Chairman Collins to present the bill.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I bring before you Senate Bill 183. It started out as a qualifications bill for the sheriff's office, and it's changed a little bit since then, so I'll walk you through the bill. The first part of the bill deals with the qualifications to hold the office of the sheriff. What we want to do in this piece of legislation is say that if you're going to qualify to run for sheriff, you have to be in good standing with the post council. Currently, you do not have to be a post-certified officer to run for sheriff. This says that you have to do that to seek that office. The next part of the bill deals with the compensation for our sheriffs. We passed out Senate Bill 830 and added an additional court for the sheriffs. Currently, they receive additional compensation for one court. This adds 2 courts to the sheriffs. And then the final part of the bill deals with some of the cleanup that we need to do for our school speeding traffic cameras. I had a lot of dealers reach out to me over the last several months, and car dealers are having to pay these unpaid civil monetary penalties for folks who speed in these school zones. So when folks trade in cars, or you trade a car and that civil monetary penalty hadn't been taken care of, before you can change that title, you have to pay that fine, even though you did not incur that. So we're changing that in this piece of legislation. Also, we're changing the permitting process for who applies for the permit for those school cameras. We're taking away the school system and having it be a more accountability on the local government, so it would be the local governing body whose law enforcement would be enforcing those who would be applying for the permit. And Mr. Speaker, that's the genesis of the bill, and that's the bill, and I'll stand for a question or two if anybody has a question. If not, I'll
You do have
gladly
some
yield the will.
questions.
Okay?
Do you yield?
Yes, sir.
Chair recognizes the Minority Caucus Whip, Representative Wilkerson, to your left for a question.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Does the gentleman yield?
I sure do.
Referencing lines 178 through 180, you're saying it's transferring the accountability from the school system to the county.
Right.
However, when we talk about our children, is it not true that the school systems are responsible for them, and that this is really a fight between the school board not wanting to give that power to the county?
Well, I guess that's a matter of perspective to my colleague. I see that as a way that, if you have people that are complaining, and I've received a lot of comments and input from my constituents and from my colleagues here in the House about these traffic cameras maybe being abused. So right now in the permitting process, you have the school board who is asking for the permit along with that local government. So we're taking one of those out of the equation, so the buck's going to stop with the person that applied for the permit. That's in my opinion, and I think this makes this a much better bill.
Okay, does the gentleman further yield?
Yes, sir.
Just one more question. So is it not true that both Cobb, that I know of, and Douglas are opposed to this bill? So it's the school system. So if we pass this, we'd be taking that authority from the school board and giving it to the municipalities who I guess are desiring this ability to ticket and raise the revenue off of that.
Well, ultimately, the public safety falls back to the sheriff or the police department, not necessarily the school system. So I think this puts everybody in the right lane, in my opinion, and that's why I included this in the language of this bill. Mr. Speaker, I'll like to yield the will and ask for your favorable consideration to my colleagues on Senate Bill 183.
Gentleman has yielded the will. Is there any objection to the previous question being ordered? The chair hears none. The previous question is ordered. Is there any objection to withdrawing the committee substitute? The chair hears none. The committee substitute is withdrawn. Is there any objection to adopting the substitute offered by the Committee on Rules? The chair hears none. The Rules Committee substitute is adopted. Is there any objection to agreeing to the report of the committee, which was favorable to the passage of the bill? The chair hears none. The report of the committee is agreed to. Shall this bill now pass? All those in favor of the passage of the bill will vote aye. Those opposed will vote no, and the clerk will unlock the machines. What purpose does Chairman Houston rise?
Parliamentary inquiry.
State your inquiry.
Isn't it not true that Lowndes County has a sheriff that was not that only attended this school after he was elected? Do you have to attend this? Is it not true that the way this is written, you have to be a peace officer before, or can you do it afterwards?
Well, I think it depends on whether this bill passes.
Okay.
And I don't know anything about the Lowndes County Sheriff's training, so.
Okay. Okay. It's true. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Have all members voted? Have all members voted? If so, the clerk will lock the machine on the passage of Senate Bill 183. The ayes are 83, the nays are 55. This bill has failed to receive the requisite constitutional majority. What purpose does Chairman Collins rise?
I'd like to make a motion,
State your motion.
ask for reconsideration.
You gentleman has that right, and the time to vote it now. We're going to vote first on reconsideration. All those in favor of reconsideration will vote aye. Those opposed will vote no, and the clerk will unlock the machines. Have all members voted? Have all members voted? If so, the clerk will lock the machines. On the motion for reconsideration, the ayes are 91, the nays are 48. This House has reconsidered its action in failing to give Senate Bill 183 the requisite constitutional majority. Given that we are on day 39 and it's late in the evening, we're going to go ahead and vote the bill now. What purpose does Chairman Collins rise?
Make a motion,
State your motion.
we table Senate Bill 183.
Your motion is table.
Yes, sir.
Chairman Collins has moved that Senate Bill 183 be placed on the table. Is there objection? There is objection. Does the gentleman move? The gentleman moves. All those in favor of the gentleman's motion to table will vote aye. Those opposed will vote no, and the clerk will unlock the machines. What purpose does Chairman Oliver rise?
Parliamentary inquiry, Mr.
State your inquiry.
Setting aside the question of how many benefits the sheriff may be getting in this bill that we may or may not have had a chance to debate, isn't it true that in my district and many districts, elementary schools are on state highways where local constituents have a great deal of interest in the measures that slow down speeders on these state highways right past our elementary schools?
If the lady so states, I know that she believes that to be true. Have all members voted? Have all members voted? If so, the clerk will lock the machine. On the gentleman's motion to table, which requires a majority of the quorum, the ayes are 89, the nays are 52, and the bill is on the table. Clerk will read the caption to Senate Bill 382.
Senate Bill 382 by Senator Roberts of the 29th, Albers the 56th, Gooch of the 51st, Cowser of the 46th, and others to be entitled Act to amend Code Section 1664 of the Official Code of Georgia Annotated relating child molestation and aggravated child molestation, so as to revise provisions for misdemeanor convictions for the offense of aggravated child molestation. This bill I refer to the Committee on Judiciary and Non-Civil. That committee recommends that this bill do pass by Rules Committee substitute.
Chair recognizes Representative Saines to present the bill.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Senate Bill 382 does two distinct policy initiatives, one being a GBI request to modify what we know as the Romeo and Juliet provision so that child molestation and aggravated child molestation both parallel, which would be age 13 to 16, minimum being down to 13. The other one is something that this House has passed twice now, which its latest iteration was House Bill 194 with one minor modification. In 2019, with the court decision Park v. State, Georgia's most dangerous sexual predators, many of them went off of GPS monitoring because of the limitation that our sex offender registry had to be able to utilize what is known as a very effective deterrent. What this bill does is, in very rare circumstances when an offender has been twice adjudicated for a crime that you can find in Section 3.8, for those crimes listed, if they have committed it once and are back in committing one of those crimes, they are able to have life probation, and we modified it to May, so the judge has the discretion to see if that's an appropriate addition to the sentence. This is the only way that we would later then have the tool to keep a GPS monitor on those offenders, and the offender would have, after 10 years on probation, DCS would be required to have them be reviewed to make sure that they are still an appropriate use of the offense. With that, I'll yield for questions if there are any.
You do not have any questions.
Thank you.
Is there any objection to the previous question being ordered? The chair hears none. The previous question is ordered. Is there any objection to withdrawing the committee substitute? The chair hears none. The committee substitute is withdrawn. Is there any objection to adopting the substitute offered by the Committee on Rules? The chair hears none. The Rules Committee substitute is adopted. Is there any objection to agreeing to the report of the committee, which was favorable to the passage of the bill? The chair hears none. The report of the committee is agreed to. Shall this bill now pass? All those in favor of the passage of the bill will vote aye. Those opposed will vote no. And the clerk will unlock the machines. What purpose does Representative Gravely rise?
Pursuant to Rule 133, I'd like to be excused from this vote.
Gentleman has that right, and the journal will so reflect. Have all members voted? Have all members voted? If so, the clerk will lock the machines on the passage of Senate Bill 382. The ayes are 136, the nays are 1. This bill, having received the requisite constitutional majority, is therefore passed. Clerk will read the caption to Senate Bill 511.
Senate Bill 511 by Senator Anderson of the 24th, Dugan of the 30th, Mullis of the 53rd, and others to be entitled an act to amend Code Section 48.5, 311 of the Official Code of Georgia Annotated relating to the creation of county boards of equalization, duties, review of assessments, and appeals. This bill having referred to the Committee on Ways and Means, that committee recommends that this bill do pass by Rules Committee substitute.
Chair recognizes Chairman Blackman to present the bill.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Bring before you the substitute to Senate Bill 511, which is a bill as has been asked by for the clerks of court. It simplifies the property tax appeal hearing timeline. It continues to maintain a resolution in a timely manner and advantages to the taxpayer. It also, I think if you will note, has two other pieces of legislation that have already received favorable consideration from this body. That is HB 500 is the renewal of the Agribusiness and Rural Jobs Act that is to incentivize investment, private investment in smaller businesses, less than 250 jobs, and in rural counties only. And also HB 1224, which allows personal property valued at over $200,000 to go straight to a hearing officer under Superior Court. Mr. Speaker, if there are any questions, I'll try to answer them. If not, I'll yield the well.
You do have some questions if you care to yield.
I'll yield for a couple. I know it's late.
Chair recognizes Chairman Burchett for a question to your right.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Does the gentleman yield?
Yes, sir.
Isn't it true that the Garger program that's included in this bill was wildly successful in South Georgia, and that I saw out a renewal of this Garger program because I, in my district, have seen many businesses that have benefited from this program?
I believe that's true. Jason Shaw started this program back in 2017, if I recall correctly. Thank you for the question. Take one more, Mr. Speaker.
Do you further yield?
I'll take one more.
Chair recognizes Representative Ridley to your right for a question.
Does my friend yield?
I think so.
Yeah, I'll be nervous too. Is there anywhere in this bill, because there was a rumor about something about group haircuts at Inman Quarter Barbershop or something, that you get a discount if you take a group, and I was trying to wonder why I wasn't invited the other day when all y'all went.
All I can tell you is if you walk in looking like I did last night, they stay open late and make an exception. Mr. Speaker, hours late. I'll yield the well and ask for favorable consideration.
Is there any objection to the previous question? I'm sorry, we have a speaker that wished to be heard. Chair recognizes Representative Park to speak to the bill.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. So I appreciate this bill and certainly want to, as a member of this body, do everything to support rural Georgia, especially when it comes to fostering economic development. I also greatly appreciate the fiscal stewardship as demonstrated by the chair of the Appropriations Committee, and I've learned a lot. However, I do want to bring the attention of the members of this body to lines 116 to 121, in which we have the $100 million loan that this body previously passed, where a state audit released in December said that this program, in which we've already loaned out $100 million, does not come close to paying for itself, in which it's already cost the state $56 million, and that it would take the state 72 years to pay back the $100 million loan that we've already given out, in which there is no requirement other than self-reporting, which no bank in this country would do. And yet, in lines 119 to 121, we are providing yet a second round of $100 million without oversight. So I just want to bring attention to this provision that's in an otherwise good bill, which I appreciate. But I want to just make note that critics have argued that this program is wasteful, inefficient, and lacks proper oversight, and that an expert in tax credit investments in reviewing the Georgia audit released this past December stated that this was a very expensive program that helps a lot of people from out of state to make money off of Georgia taxpayers without creating lasting value in Georgia. So as stewards of taxpayer dollars, I would respectfully urge the members in this body to vote no, particularly in light of the provision that's included here. And I do hope that we could perhaps work together to ensure that there is more oversight regarding measures to boost and foster economic development throughout this state, but certainly in rural Georgia. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I yield the well.
All right, is there any objection to the previous question being ordered? The chair hears none. The previous question is ordered. Is there any objection to withdrawing the committee substitute? The chair hears none. The committee substitute is withdrawn. Is there any objection to adopting the substitute offered by the Committee on Rules? The chair hears none. The Rules Committee substitute is adopted. Is there any objection to agreeing to the report of the committee, which was favorable to the passage of the bill? The chair hears none. The report of the committee is agreed to. Shall this bill now pass? All those in favor of the passage of the bill will vote aye. Those opposed will vote no, and the clerk will unlock the machines. What purpose does Chairman Blackman rise?
Parliamentary inquiry.
State your inquiry.
Mr. Speaker, isn't it true that in lines 137 all the way through 151 and beyond, all the way to the end of the bill, that we have reporting requirements, extensive reporting requirements required by this legislation?
I believe that to be true. What purpose does Chairman Burchett rise?
Parliamentary inquiry.
State your inquiry.
Isn't it true, Mr. Speaker, that the dollars that are invested are all private dollars, and it's required that those dollars stay invested during the duration of the program and only get the benefit of the credit once the program is complete, and the $60 million is a 5-year reconcile for the state of Georgia?
I think the gentleman is correct in that statement. What purpose does Representative Wade rise?
Pursuant to Rule 133 and out of an abundance of caution, may I be excused from this vote?
Gentleman has that right, and the journal will so reflect. Have all members voted? Have all members voted? If so, the clerk will lock the machines on the passage of Senate Bill 511. The ayes are 92, the nays are 48. This bill, having received the requisite constitutional majority, is therefore passed. Bear with me here just a few more minutes. Clerk will read the caption to Senate Resolution 596.
Senate Resolution 596 by Senator Ginney the 4th, 47th, Dugan to the 30th, Cowser to the 46th, and others, a resolution honoring the life and memory of Mr. Isaiah Berry and dedicating an intersection in his memory. This resolution having been referred to the Committee on Transportation, that committee recommends that this resolution be adopted by Rules Committee substitute.
Chair recognizes Representative Brian Prince to present the resolution.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. House members, Senate Resolution 596 is our annual Senate Road and Bridge dedication packet. This packet includes 40 resolutions, 17 which are Senate resolutions, and 23 that are House resolutions. House Resolution 684 by Representative Kelly is dedicating an intersection in Polk County as the Judge Dan Wynn intersection. House Resolution 841 by Representative Hofston, dedicating a state route in Berry County as the Bobby Rowan Parkway. House Resolution 867 by Representative Gunter, dedicating an intersection in Towns County as the Sheriff J. Vernon Chaston Sr. Memorial Intersection. House Resolution 878 by Representative LaRicchia, dedicating a bridge in Coffee County as the Private First Class Charles E. Day and Sergeant First Class Jerome Day Bridge. House Resolution 918 by Representative S. Frustration, dedicating a bridge in Gwinnett County as the Judge Raymond Alvarado Bridge. House Resolution 931 by Representative Carson, dedicating an intersection in Cobb County as the Kip Klein Memorial Intersection. House Resolution 937 by Representative DeLoach, dedicating a state route in Long County as the Deputy Shelton Whiteman Memorial Highway. House Resolution 940 by Representative S. Frustration, dedicating an intersection in Gwinnett County as the Judge Emily Pate Powell intersection. House Resolution 938 by Representative Hawkins, dedicating a bridge in Hall County as the Carl Rogers Bridge. House Resolution 939 by Representative Gunter, dedicating a bridge in Towns County as the Reverend James Jimmy Richard Rogers Sr. Bridge. House Resolution 1001 by Representative Vance Smith, dedicating a portion of the U.S. Highway in Harris County as the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Memorial Highway. House Resolution 1002 by Representative Parrish, dedicating a portion of a U.S. highway in Emmanuel County as the Sheriff Tyson Stevens Memorial Highway. House Resolutions 1028 by Representative McLean, dedicating a bridge in Fulton County as the Gregory Stall Sr. Memorial Bridge. House Resolution 1047 by Representative Jaspers, dedicating a bridge in Pickens County as the N.C. Lowe Jr. Memorial Bridge. House Resolution 1084 by Representative Cannon, dedicating a state route in Fulton County as the Jovita Moore Memorial Highway. House Resolution 1102 by Representative Leverett, dedicating a state route in Elbert County as the Representative Tom Allen McCall Highway. House Resolution 1104 by Representative Cannon, dedicating a state route in Fulton County as the Black Music and Entertainment Walk of Fame Highway. House Resolution 1105 by Representative Barner, dedicating a state route in Fayette County as the Huey Bray Memorial Highway. House Resolution 1124 by Representative Burchett, dedicating an intersection in Ware County as the Ken Bennett Memorial Intersection. House Resolutions 1125 by Representative Burchett, dedicating an intersection in Ware County as the Colonel Frank Norton Crossing. House Resolutions 1167 by Representative Setzler, dedicating a bridge in Cobb County as the Mayor's Bridge. House Resolution 941 by Representative Gilliard, dedicating an interchange in Chatham County as the Doug Weathers Interchange. House Resolution 942 by Representative Gilliard, dedicating a bridge in Chatham County as the Lawrence Hutchinson Memorial Bridge. Mr. Speaker, I yield for any questions. I ask for a moment of silence for all these dedications. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I yield the will.
You have no questions. Is there any objection to the previous question being ordered? The chair hears none. The previous question is ordered. Is there any objection to withdrawing the committee substitute? The chair hears none. The committee substitute is withdrawn. Is there any objection to adopting the substitute offered by the Committee on Rules? The chair hears none. The Rules Committee substitute is adopted. Is there any objection to agreeing to the report of the committee, which was favorable to the adoption of the resolution? The chair hears none. The report of the committee is agreed to. Shall this resolution now be adopted? All those in favor of the adoption of the resolution will vote aye. Those opposed will vote no, and the clerk will unlock the machine. Have all members voted? Have all members voted? If so, the clerk will lock the machine on the adoption of Senate Resolution 596. The ayes are 145. The nays are 0. This resolution, having received the requisite constitutional majority, is therefore passed. What purpose does Chairman Blackman rise?
Make a motion.
I'm sorry. You need to come to the well.
Yes,
My
sir.
bad. Chair recognizes Chairman Blackman for a motion.
It is late, I know. I move that we disagree to the Senate substitute, House Bill 1437.
Clerk will read the caption.
House Bill 1437 to be entitled an act to amend Chapter 7 of Title 48 of the Official Code of Georgia Annotated relating to income taxes so as to revise the rate of taxation on income.
On the gentleman's motion that the House disagree to the Senate substitute to House Bill 1437, is there objection? The chair hears none, and this House is disagreed to the Senate substitute to House Bill 1437. Members, this will now go back to the Senate, and in order to expedite the work of a conference committee, although I can't legally appoint one, I'm going to designate a conference committee to act with the complete authority of the chair, and the chair will be appointing to a committee of conference Representative Blackman of the 146th, Representative Williamson of the 115th, and Representative Martin of the 49th. Chair, Senate Bill 256 is postponed to the next legislative day. Senate Bill 591 is postponed to the next legislative day. The chair recognizes the majority leader of the House for a motion.
Well, thank you, Mr. Speaker. I thought you were going to recognize the rules chairman, so I do appreciate that. Mr. Speaker.
I wouldn't dare do that after that outburst.
No doubt. Mr. Speaker, I move that this House stand adjourned until 10 a.m., Monday, April the 4th, 2022.
The majority leader has moved that this House be adjourned until Monday, April the 4th at 10 o'clock a.m., where we will then enter upon day 40 of the 2022 session. All those in favor of the motion will vote aye. Those opposed will say no. The ayes clearly have it. This House will be adjourned until Monday, April 4th at 10 a.m.